Check my receipt. I've recently caught on to something my father does. Anytime he goes somewhere, i.e., Walmart, Target, with self-checkout, he makes it a point to use it. Then when walking out, as soon as the associate pops off the normal, "May I see your receipt?" My father always smiles his biggest smile, excitedly chirps a quick, "Yep," hands them the receipt and continues his brisk pace past them and out the doors. The bewildered look on their face is the best part. I noticed that the self-checkout at the local Walmart now has an option to print, text, or print and text the receipt. So you text the receipt and you show them. What? Do I wave my phone as I walk by? I get it. Box stores have actually shut down locations with too much retail theft. But it's just security theater. It annoys regular customers, doesn't stop shoplifters, and actually puts a poor employee in harm's way if they get in between a shoplifter and the door. As long as it's not a membership-based store, Costco, Sam's, etc., at those stores, you've agreed to letting them check your receipt in the terms of service. I had this today. The lady in the self-checkout already watched me like a hawk checking out. The guy on the way out asked if he could see my receipt. I held it up, said, "See?" and kept walking. According to my wife, if looks could kill, I would have dropped right there. But I don't appreciate being treated like a criminal for no reason. Especially since an employee watched me scan literally every item in my cart. The cashier already checked it. They were quite rude about it too. You should fire them. Just wanted to share this. Also, I am not great at this sort of thing, so if it is not easy to read, sorry. Earlier this year I was shopping at Walmart with the family. We just needed a few things. So we got them and headed for the checkout. No issues there, rang out and headed for the door. Got to the person checking receipts and he looks it over. Stops, looks again and waves someone over. He looks at me and goes, "I got you dead to rights." Confused, I looked at him and said, "What are you taking about?" He looks at me and flat out calls me a thief and tells me I am going to jail and that I am a pathetic person for doing this in front of my 17 years old. Very confused now, I asked what he was talking about as I didn't steal anything. The person he waved over a few seconds ago arrives and it is some sort of manager. I can tell by the different shirt. He looks at the manger and says he witnessed me going through the self-checkout and I didn't scan a bag of chips. Was dumbfounded at this and I went to speak up and got out. That is no. When the employee snaps at me with, "You need to just sit there and shut up. The police are already here dealing with something else and will take you to jail when they go now." Remember, my family was with me. My wife tries to also speak but gets cut off by the manager with, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but we have a zero tolerance policy for stealing. It doesn't matter if it is a TV or a bag of chips. Stealing is stealing and your husband is going to jail and that is all there so to it." My 18 years old is very emotionally challenged, so I turn to her and just let her know not to worry and everything is going to be okay. So they take me to an office while I wait for the officer and won't let my family come with me. About 15 minutes later the officer comes in and asks what's going on. The manager informs him that they caught me shoplifting a bag of chips. The officer turns to me and asks what happened. Before I can even say anything, the employee pipes up with, "I can help you out with this." I watched him go through the self-checkout and he didn't ring up the chips. The officer thanks him and looks at me and asks why I didn't ring up the chips. I answered him by simply saying I wouldn't know. They would have to go ask the cashier on register 6 where I actually checked out and not the self-checkout. The employee tries to pipe up saying that was a lie, but the officer shut him right down and tells the manager that he wants to see the video. By now a second officer was there and was led to watch me while the manager and first office went to watch the video. They come back about 20 minutes later and the office rows visibly pissed. He then proceeds to lay into the employee for either being incredibly blind or just being down. Right petty, as no one even close to my description used the self-checkout, so they have no idea how. He was so adamant that we went through the self-checkout. He said that the video clearly show me and the family going to the employee manned register and the employee scanned the bag of chips. The officer then laid into the manager that they need to listen to people more, as this was a waste of time for the officers to deal with, and a simple 6-minute conversation would have cleared it up. I was released and the manager was made to apologize to my wife and daughter for this ordeal. It was ridiculous. Anyone here miss Fry's Electronics and how they'd recheck every single item on your receipt? Even a soda? Funny. Except for Costco, I never get asked to check my receipt. Ever. Wife says it's because my normal look is that of an aging homicidal biker coming off of a 4-day alcohol and meth binge. Sorry, that's just my face. Can't help it. I just say no thank you and keep walking. But there's one security guy that got argumentative with me. I still didn't show my receipt. So I'm prepared for next time I see him. In one of my reusable bags, I have a lot of old receipts from many different stores. I'll grab one of them at random and hand it to him. He'll say wrong receipt. I'll put it back in the bag and grab another. The current receipt is not in the bag. Prob after the second or third one, he'll ask for the correct receipt. I'll just say I can't tell without my glasses and hand him another random receipt. I want to see how long it takes before he gives up. I'm retired, so I can play the doddering old man and have time to spare. When I'm asked for my receipt, I stop and show it to the person who is trying to earn a living being on their feet all day for close to minimum wage, while knowing they have to annoy person after person. They have enough trouble. I don't need to add to it. I'm just glad I don't have to do it. Nope. I just keep walking and ignore them. If you think I've stolen something, then check the 9,000 security cameras you have in that store and call the police. At Walmart, I said, no, and kept walking. Nothing happened. My favorite is when they profile you. 3 people ahead of me walk out with a cart full of stuff and get a, "Have a good day." I walk out with 2 bags and I get the, "I need your receipt." This is a Walmart, sir. I'm not stealing a pack of Gatorade and a roll of tape for fun. If they want to check my receipt, I'll stop for them, but they have to ask. I will not stand in line at the exit for the purpose of showing my receipt. I don't show my receipt. If you insist that I check out my own items, then don't trust me. Forget it. So he no longer has the receipt in case he needs to make a return? Better is to simply tell them no and keep walking. If they try and stop you, immediately ask if you are being detained. You do not have to give them any identification after you have made your purchase. And they have no legal right to stop you from leaving. If they want to force people to do their own checkout, they can damn well have a person stand there and watch you ring things out. I figure once I have paid for it, it is no longer merchandise. It is property. With a smile I give them the receipt and keep on walking out of the store, never breaking stride. Fun fact from an employee checking receipts: if you have all the items bagged, you don't have to stop. If you have something that doesn't fit in a bag but you can fit a bag on top of it, they cannot stop you because it is technically bagged. They legally cannot search your bags, so move on your merry way. I became besties with the Walmart attendant and he checks everyone's receipts except mine. I think that's the way to go about it. If they ask me for my receipt, I say, yes, I have it, thank you, and keep walking. The only place I show my receipt is Costco. Otherwise I walk right through and say, have a good day. Quote.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.